Hi, and welcome back to Pinky Boo Hauntings. I'll be your witchy host, Shy, and I'll be your guide to all things paranormal, weird, and spooky. Guys, are you excited for today's episode? I know I sure am, because I found some fun ones. At least, the titles made them sound interesting, and since I don't really have any life updates or anything like that, why don't we get right into it? Let's get on to our first story. It's called Angel Experience or UFO. Ooh, our first possible UFO story. I was with my dad. I think he was driving, but I can't remember exactly. How do you not remember if your dad was driving or not? Where were you? I'm going to assume you probably can't remember because of the scary encounter you're about to tell us about. Just the two of us in the car. We were close to home. It was night. We were the only car on the road and lived in a ruralish area. No streetlights. All of a sudden, a bright fog is in the road ahead of us. The entire car is engulfed in a bright white light as we drive through. Even if it was just a fog, I don't think if I saw something like that, I wouldn't be freaked out, especially on a dark road alone. But then again, I don't really like driving in the dark because it scares the shit out of me because I can't really see. So I'd probably be scared either way. The large form of an angel sweeps through the car, literally comes through the windshield, goes through us, and out the back of the car. Then back to normal. Dark, nighttime, in an instant. And you had a heart attack, right? Because I know I sure would. I just assume I was dead for a second. My dad is silent. My mind is racing. I'm thinking out loud and say, "What was that?" He says, "I don't know." My mind is like, "Was that some crazy fog or what?" There is no way that was fog of any kind. I know fog can move, so even if you were sitting on the side of the road and not moving, it could explain some of this, but you'd know if it was fog. And with the way you describe it, I don't know a fog that moves or looks like that. Also, how did it get in the car? Like, phase through the car, in you. Fog doesn't usually magically get in your car like that, unless your windows are down. And even then, that still would be crazy for it to move in the way you said it did. I get why you would want to explain it away, because that would be a hard thing to process easily. But I don't know. Right now, I'm not believing the fog idea. I never forgot that night. Sadly, my dad did. He had a massive stroke 15 years ago, and now he has passed on. Oh my god, I am so sorry. Hopefully, he's still looking over you. I know he saw UFOs before, and so have I. I saw one from our backyard once. Was in the sky for hours, just sitting there. Oh, well, that kind of explains why you jumped to it being a UFO, because I don't think that would have been what I jumped to. Anyways, I don't know what happened that night, but I like to think we were being protected. But maybe it was something else. Because for the life of me, I can't remember exactly when that occurred, or how old I was, or where we were coming from, or who was driving. It is weird that you don't seem to remember that many details from it, but it does seem like it happened a long time ago, so maybe that's why you've forgotten some details. I don't know. I will say that while I was excited at the thought of these being UFO sightings, I don't think that's what happened here. I think you might be right that it was something coming through to give you protection. So it very well could have been a guardian angel or maybe another spirit that decided to come look out for you. I know this might seem weird, but the whole time I was reading this, I kept feeling like you were on the side of the road. Your dad seemed worried or stressed about something, like you might have gotten lost or something might have happened to the car. Might be why I also feel like you two were waiting on something. Maybe it was a tow truck. I don't know if any of this is true, obviously, but that was just the scene I was seeing. All right, let's move on to our next one. We're going from the open road to someone's house. That sounded way creepier than I meant it to be. Anyways, this one is called Parents' House Haunted. So, I recently moved back into my parents' home under unfortunate circumstances. My parents built their home in the 90s, and that's where I grew up. When I was younger, I was terrified of the basement, as I'm sure many were as children. Sometimes I'm happy my house didn't have a basement. I would have been so scared of it too. As I got older, I started hearing something in the home at night that my parents chalked up to a new home build. The years passed, and those sounds never stopped. Here are some examples of things that have happened in this home. One night, while sleeping, everyone in the home clearly heard our basement door open. Nope, no, thank you. There are probably a few things that will still scare me, and the door randomly opening on its own is one of them, especially if it's a basement door. I've seen horror movies. I'm not dumb. To the point my dad went down with a gun. No one was there. Time to lock up the basement and cut your losses. Fuck that shit. Their home is a two-story, and as everyone knows, there is always two or three steps that creak. As a teenager, I knew which ones these were and would avoid them. There were nights where, as I slept, I could hear those specific steps creak. Yeah, I think every teenager knows where those creaks are and knows how to step around them, even on the wood floors. Gotta be careful not to step on those boards as well. The worst was when I was about 19. I was on the couch watching a movie, and out of nowhere, it sounded like someone had thrown a coin right next to me. The coin made this eerie noise of going around and around before falling flat. I never found that coin. Now, in my 30s, I find myself back. I never believed in any of this after I left, but just 1 week back, as I was sleeping, I heard a pan or something that sounded as loud drop in the middle of the night. I was going to get up and check, but the outside bedroom light came on, and I heard my father go down and see what it was. The next morning, I asked him what fell, and he had no clue what I was talking about. He said he never heard anything and never got out of bed. First off, paranormal or not, hearing something that loud in the middle of the night would freak anyone out. But if it was a ghost, we're about to have a long talk about how that's not okay and not to do it again. Also, is your dad messing with you, or was he really not awake like you thought? Kind of crazy if that was a spirit doing all of that, making the pan noise and then pretending to be your dad, turning on the light and all. That's just weird. Unless it was two different spirits. Maybe one was messing around and the other went down to yell at them. All I know for sure is your home does sound like it has something in it. Seems kind of harmless. Annoying when it's making random noises in the middle of the night, but seems like nothing you guys wouldn't do if you were trying to be quiet at night and messed up. So let the clumsy ghost be. Alright, let's get on to our next story. This title has got me excited about this one. It's called Spoke with the Spirit of a Deceased Woman on a Police Call. There was one call I went to a death notification that really freaked me out. I had to contact some family members of a deceased woman that was involved in a fatal car accident a few miles away from her home. When I arrived, near the roadway just inside of the property gate, she said she heard me coming from miles away. Wait, did you have your sirens on? How did she hear you coming? Is that something cops do when they're going to notify the family? I asked her if she lived at this residence, which she confirmed she did. After asking her to speak with me at the house, she agreed, but said she needed the walk, as the house was about 75 yards from the road. After making it to the house, I approached the front door on a small wooden porch and began scanning the driveway for the woman. It was about 1 a.m. and completely dark. While looking for the woman, the front door opened and a younger woman appeared. She was concerned about my presence and asked if everything is okay. I asked if I could speak with her and any other adults inside, and she welcomed me in. I told her I would wait for the woman I met near the gate, and she told me no one else should be home. I then freaked out and began scanning the property. Nothing. After entering the residence, I told her and her husband the news about Susan, which ended up being her mother. She said her mother moved in a few months back after her father had passed and wasn't handling it well. While she and her husband were comforting one another, I began looking at photos on the wall. There was this picture of a mid aged woman that stuck out to me. She was a younger version of the woman I spoke with near the gate. While looking at the picture, the daughter confirmed that that was her mother, the woman that passed in the wreck. I spoke with the ghost of an individual that died in that crash just before telling her family what happened. Oh my god, she came to see them. Wait, that makes more sense that she knew you were coming, 'cause she said she could hear you coming from miles away, like maybe the couple of miles away where she had her fatal crash. If you weren't a believer before, I'd assume that made you one. I do wonder if you told the daughter that the lady outside was her mother. So that is a hard thing to tell someone, especially in a moment like that. At least the mom came home just in time to comfort her daughter, because even if she didn't feel it, I'm sure she was there with her. I'm sure she was there from the moment you came into that house. Oh, it seems like this person has a YouTube channel. I might go check it out after this. They seem to tell tales of cops that have experienced the paranormal. The channel is called Policing the Shadows. I love that name. So if you would like to check them out too, look them up. But don't look them up just yet. Wait until the coven is adjourned. We still have two more stories to go. This next one is called I Saw a Ghost, I think for the first time in my life. Need advice. Oh, we got a first timer. I saw it at my workplace. I just started working there, and lots have said it's a very creepy old building, and you can just feel presence sometimes. It was a woman staring through a window of a door. Aw, it sounds like she just likes to people watch, or doesn't like people coming in there. I thought she was a real person, although I found it strange she was just standing in front of the door window and not going through it, 'cause she wanted to keep an eye on you all. I thought maybe she was waiting for me to pass before opening the door so it didn't hit me. When I got to the exit, just a few paces from the door she was behind, I held it open for her, assuming she'd open and pass through the door by then. Wait, why was I thinking she was staring outside at you all? I didn't realize the door was inside the building, but she was gone, and my coworker who had been behind me walked through instead. I asked my coworker if that was her behind the door, and she said no, she was behind me the whole time. I don't know if that's confusing, but now I'm spooked and need advice on how to stay safe in that building. I think maybe I called her by accident because I joked with my coworker about how the building is haunted. Because earlier I was in the basement with my coworker where I don't get phone reception and I receive a call from my ex who I haven't heard from in 9 months. And she said, "Yeah, it's spooky down here." I mean, I guess it's possible you insulted her or something. I doubt it though. It seems to me that she was just watching you. Maybe that's her room, and she was just waiting to see who was walking by. Sometimes spirits aren't aware you can see them when they do stuff like that. I don't think you need to worry though. I think you're safe. I mean, being polite to her could go a long way. Just saying hi or speaking to her from time to time could really make her happy. But definitely do not be scared. She seems to just be hanging around there. We just have one more story for today. It's called My Late Friend's Ashes Are Being Passed Around Because of Activity. Now he's targeting my guests. I'm looking for some advice or similar stories because things have become undeniably weird. 2 years ago, a very close friend of mine, call him Richard, passed away in a violent vengeance type situation behind a gas station. The strange part started before he even died. I actually had a premonition and warned him about 12 hours before it happened, but tragically, he didn't listen. I ended up handling his funeral and cremation, and I was the one who chose the outfit he was laid out in. Dude, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know it must have been rough to go through all that, especially after trying to warn him. In life, Richard was a follower. He went everywhere I went. He also harbored a lot of bitterness towards people. His relatives have been passing his ashes from house to house. They claim that whenever the urn is present, lights flicker, doors open and close on their own, and there is a heavy, dark energy in the room. Not to undermine their feelings on this, but I'd be pretty pissed if my family were passing my ashes around like that. Eventually, the ashes came to me. Here's the problem: I haven't experienced anything strange, but my family is terrified. My uncle, who never met Richard and knows nothing about his life, stayed at my house recently. He started having reoccurring nightmares of a man fitting Richard's exact description attacking him. Damn, never mind. Maybe Richard is just being a huge Richard. He even dreamt of being harmed behind a gas station, the exact location where Richard actually passed away. Most recently, my father slept in my room and ran out in a total panic. He dreamt of a man with a dark aura standing over him. He described this man perfectly, down to the thin eyebrows and the slightly crossed eyes. Most chillingly, he described the exact outfit I chose for Richard's funeral, an outfit my father never saw. Richard knew I had a strained relationship with these family members. It feels like he's acting as a guard dog from the other side, terrorizing people I have conflict with while leaving me completely alone. Oh, I take back my previous comment. I didn't realize you were in the best place with your family members. Has anyone else experienced a selective haunting? Why am I the only one who feels peace while everyone else sees him as a threat? Is it possible for a spirit to be attached to the ashes this way? Listen, spirits that were once people are still people at the end of the day. You have to treat them the same way. They can still have their former beliefs and beefs with people, even after death. It seems like you truly cared for your friend and took care of him, even after death. So, of course, he's going to be kind to you and protect you in his own way. And yes, spirits can be attached to about anything. That means they can be attached to their own ashes, probably why the activity seems to follow them. If you want him to back off your family, talk to him. Explain to him that while you understand his intentions are good, he needs to stop attacking those people. Ask him to protect you in another way if he wants to hang around. Hell, tell him you've got this and that you can fight your own battles. Hopefully, he understands and lets them be. Seriously, though, for anyone that is listening and you have a spirit in your home or even workplace, talk to them like you would anyone else. Don't be rude if they're not being rude to you. And I promise it goes a long way. They'll leave you alone, chill out on the activity, or whatever you need. You just have to treat them like the person they were. Obviously, that's only advice for human spirits. Other spirits are totally different, and I'm still working on how to deal with those. Anyways, if you like this podcast, please consider rating and reviewing, as well as like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Spread the word about our little coven if you see fit. And if you have a story you'd like to tell, email them to me. The email is in the show notes or the description below. But for now, the coven is adjourned. See you next time. Bye.